evening everyone, and welcome to round 7 and 8 of the Flat Out E-Racing V8 Championship. And tonight we are at the home of V8. We are at Bathurst in Australia. We're in New South Wales, about 125 miles west of Sydney. This track, which is up and down Mount Panorama, famous for the Bathurst 1000 race, is our next two rounds. We've just started the qualifier, which has just got just 5 minutes, and you can see there's only 3 minutes remaining. So this long lap means the guys are only going to get probably 2 laps in if they're quick. So it's going to be tight on qualifying for this one. As we know, this is a really punishing circuit. Not particularly this bottom section that you can see R80 just going around now. It's up around the mountain. There's very little runoff. There's walls on both sides. And this is a track which is in fact just most of the year a normal residential road. There's about 40 residences up and down the mountain. And this is just like driving up, your normal road to your house most of the year round until these guys turn up. Just while they're starting their lap, I'm just going to quickly run down where we are with the championship. It has been dominated by a few guys. Leading at the moment with a complete 100% clean sweep of the races so far is Kevin 77 on 150 points, and then Select is on 121 points in second place. Sturpan is third on 92 points. R80U is John Riley, who actually organises this series, so we're appreciative of his efforts. He's currently fourth. Noodlester's fifth on 80 points. Sweet Roger, he's sixth on 73 points, and then next is Noddy's Mate in 7th, Cajun 100 Kevin on 8th on 60 points, Mark Parker on 9th, and Mark has already said earlier that we're going to be gentlemanly tonight, and this section that you can see R80 going through now, which is the tight section down the mountain, we're going to be very gently and not overtake, and as you can see, that section has already bit John Riley, R80, as he's coming down the hill, so that's going to scrub that lap for him. And just to round out those guys, in 10th is Tim Rosette, who's only competed in the last round. He's already up to 38 points. So just to play where we are in the championship, this is round 7 and 8. We've got one more round to go after this to decide the championship, and that's going to be in Barcelona next week. So tonight we've got 2 races. We've got a 15-minute race to start with, followed by a reverse grid based on the result of the first race, the second race, which will be a grid start. So let's see how these guys are starting to shake out. Well, no surprise at all, we've got Kevin 77 putting in the fastest lap there. Let's hop on board with him. And we've got some new features for you, which we introduced last week at the Group 4 race on Wednesday night. We can actually go on board. So as you can see, as we climb over the mountain here, it is so tight, those walls are there just to grab you. It's not one of these modern F1 circuits where you've got acres of space you can run off. I was commentating on a race last night at Paul Ricard, and you could end up in the sea before you hit anything at that circuit, but this one's completely different. You come over this crest, the car goes light, you lose traction, it's so difficult. You've got to come down on speed, second gear, third gear. Here we come back down up to fourth, and then just around this right hand, you've got to get on the brakes, and this corner is so critical. Has come through the chase, round out, just brushing the wall there. You see the sparks. Now it's absolutely flat out down Conrod Straight. Here we go, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, and we come over the crest. He's going to line the car up on the left-hand side of the track for this slight right-hander as we come up to the chicane here. Brake at about 150 metres, down into second. Just clip the curb on the inside, there we go, up to third, fourth, and then blast down this little short straight to the tight left, and just to complete the lap. Now he's already 0.672 in front. Can he do any better? The time is out, so this is his last chance. Has he gone any quicker this time? No, that's the best lap he's done so far. In second, So who's coming up next? We've got Select, and we're on board with Sturplan, who's currently third. Oh, Select getting a bit wild there into the last corner. He's held it, but that would have cost him time. And Sturplan's gone for, and Zavarino, who is a new driver for us, another one from the Greek contingent. He's slotted there into third. So I think we're fairly close to everyone having completed their lap. Let's have a look. We're on board there with Cajun Kevin. He's qualified in 10th. John Riley R80, he's down there in 9th. So let's see who else we've got, because we've got 12 drivers out there tonight. Noodles has obviously had a couple of problems there. He's 6.2 seconds off pole, which is very unusual for Noodles, so I imagine he didn't get 2 clean laps in there. And Holkey has come through in 12th. So here we go, look at that. Clean 5-way sweep by the Greek contingent. So here we go. This is going to be epic. These cars have liveries that I know the guys have all worked on really hard to make them look a real homage to those the V8 supercars, and it's so great to see them at this fantastic circuit. We've got 174 metre height difference between the pit lane and the top of the hill, so it just gives you some indication of how steep it is to get around there. So let's hope all the guys are pretty sensible, and let's hope we get a good clean starting lap. So remember, this is a 15-minute race, so I'd imagine that we're probably not going to have any pit stops in this first race. So here we go. Kevin's away, cleanly. Rolling start tends to take everybody a little bit of space between each other, so we don't tend to get anything too aggressive happening at the first corner. And we've obviously got the fastest guys at the front, which we won't have in the second race, so that will make things a lot more lively. So let's head back onto the racing cams as we head up the hill, up towards Griffin's Bend. Now this one can catch you out. It's all right in the entry, it's just not catching the wall on the exit. You want to carry a little speed, there you go, riding over the curb. So perfect from there from Kevin. Let's move back a little bit and see if we've got any action happening a little bit further down the field. It looks all fairly tidy there. Timorous there, fairly close up behind Sturpan. So the Greeks are all sticking together at the moment. One thing to watch for these guys as we bring up the details of their revs and speed and so on, is these guys, particularly Kevin, seems extremely good on fuel. So they're extremely fast, but they're extremely frugal. So they're a really cracking set of drivers, but they do seem all very close to on this occasion. So let's have a little bit of an aerial view, see what happens. So looks like someone in the background there has picked up the penalty, probably for either a collision with a wall or taking a little bit of a shortcut. That's Select. So let's bring up the track information just so we can see who is where at the top right hand corner. So it's all still looking fairly steadily in order at the moment there. Let's move back down the field and see what else we've got going on. We're on there with R80, which is John Riley. Over that crest as they head down towards the chase. Using all the track and a bit more on the side there. They are being, I know in the chat before, they all said they were going to be very gentlemanly, it was all going to be very clean, and obviously when the red mist comes down, that quite often gets forgotten, but tonight they do seem to be very well behaved. I'm probably guessing this is the calm before the storm, but we'll wait and see. So let's hop back a little bit further. We'll hop on board with Noodlester. So he's being caught by Cajun Kevin. So he's got a little bit of a gap in front of him there, 3.5 seconds. So I'd imagine Cajun is looking to try and get a move done there. Now he's trying to get clean out of that first corner. In the background it looked like Holkey's got a bit of a problem there. Oh no, he's caught it. He managed to catch it there. I think Kevin is going to try and make a move here at some point. Let's hop on board with him. So round the right-hander at Griffin's, trying to drift it on the exit, not clip that curb. As we nip up towards the cutting, it's just a little bit off the throttle here. Dive on the brakes. You can see Noodles' brake lights glowing there. Round the corner. Now the real climb starts. This is really steep up through this bit. So we've got round this next right-hander. No run off on the exit. You've got to get it spot on. and then up through these two fast right-handers. You can see Noodles are getting right up against the wall there. And he seems to pull back a bit of a gap away from Cajun again there. Oh, you see on the grass, you don't want to do that. Over here, car goes light, unloads over that crest, and then back down the hill, back down the gears. Down to second round this one. Now we start to accelerate again. Back down the hill and heading toward Forest Elbow, the last corner onto the long straight back to the pits. Now this is one you've got to get right so you get a good exit and get maximum speed down the end before you hit the brakes into the chase. You can see how high we are with the view in the distance. So let's hop back up the front, see if we can see any action happening here. So we'll go externally with the cameras. There's some fantastic shots we're getting here with the GT Sport tonight. So these three guys, Kevin, Kalunen and Zabarino. Kalunen and Zabarino are new drivers to the series tonight, do seem to be making... Oh, and I'm doing an injustice on Sturpan. I think he's a little bit further back. But these three guys are definitely making a break for it, and Kevin has won every race in this series so far, so I'm sure he's really keen to keep that clean sheet. So let's have a look. These guys, they're all being rather well behaved tonight. I'm not used to this. I'm expecting mirrors, door mirrors being knocked off and bumpers being ripped off against walls. This is all quite incredible. Let's hop back and see what we can see. We've got Noddy's mate with Select there, and they're running quite close to each other. I think they're possibly all running slightly cautiously tonight because they've got that concern of, these walls are there. You can see they're right against the edge of the track, and there's no, one error and your race is over. You could be spun round, you lose 3 or 4 positions, and it's wrecked. You're not going to get it back in a 15-minute race. The other thing we need to look at, and I'm just going to have a quick chat with our man down in the pitch, Uni Eagles. I'm having a look at the field here. Oh, Noddy's mate is cutting across the grass there on that first chicane. He's getting a bit loose. Oh, he's in the wall, and he's got a penalty for his trouble. So Select's going down the outside, and he's got the position. Oh, and it looks like we're going a little bit slower there. Noddy's mate shed some of that. Oh, and Select hits the wall on the exit. So it's all gone a bit pear-shaped there for both of them really. And look in the rear-view mirror at the top of your screen, that's John Riley R80. He's coming up to maximise it. They're all in each other's slipstream. It's like a DRS train. Here we go. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. Oh, he can't make it. Select goes slightly defensive there. Oh, and that was a little bit rude there, by Noddy's mate. But he's backed off. He's let R80 by. So that was all getting a little bit tight. Just when we all thought it had gone a bit steady, it just decided to liven up a bit, didn't it? Oh, and R80's now getting... Oh, we're in the wall. We're round. Oh, disaster. Noddy's mate. As I said, the walls on this track are just so close, and it all came out and bit him. So, unfortunately, quick flash to the light there. So, Mark Parker's decided to pit. Now that's quite interesting because I'm quite surprised about pitting that early. Now, whether he had any damage or not, I don't know. But let's have a quick look. Oh, Hulky's in problems as well. I was whereabouts to see. That's that's at the chase at the end of the lap. You can hear it bouncing off of rev limit as he gets back, and he's going to peer over the crest there. He's still in the race, but Mark Parker's back out the pits. He's done his pit stop. Let's have a look on board with Mark. We'll bring up what he's got going on board there. Hang on, flashing from one thing to another here. He's got 3/4 tank, so he was obviously worried he wasn't going to make the end on the field he had. So he's pitted again. We've got 7.5 minutes remaining, plus obviously the time to get round to the finishing flag. So hopping on board with Kevin, it looks yet again, it's not Fast and the Furious, it's Fast and the Frugal, because Kevin's got just over half a tank left, and he's just got just under half a race to go. So he's worked that one out absolutely perfectly. And let's have a look at the guys behind him, see if they've done the same thing. Oh, there's going to be a little bit tight for Clunan there. He's just under half a tank, so he can probably wind back his mapping to save a bit of fuel. And Zabarino, he looks like he's got it sussed as well. So I wonder if these Greek guys are working together as a team and sharing information. So Let's have a look back. Sturplan, who has been up with Kevin in the last few races, he's dropped back a little bit there. Let's just bring up the race info. So he's about 4 seconds behind the third place and about 7 seconds behind the leader. So he has dropped back a little bit there compared to where he's been in the previous races. We'll hop back one more position to Timoros. He's had some good showings in the previous races. And John Riley's decided the pit, so let's just hop down to him. Oh, he's not in 8th anymore, he's in 9th. So John's there changing his tyres. Quick splash of fuel. Obviously feels he wasn't going to get to the end. Let's have a look, bring up the car info. Yeah, he was down to less than a quarter of a tank, so that car wasn't going to make it to the end. So his refuel is coming out and he's got just over 3/4 tank. He's also gone for the Racing Super Softs. So with just over 5.5 minutes remaining, he should get to the end on those tyres, and he's going to hopefully have a lot more grip. So be interested to see how that shakes out. Let's just move up the... So we'll just have a quick look, see who else is pitting. Cajun's pitted as well. It's all happening fast here, isn't it? He's coming out the pits as well. Let's see what he's done with his fuel. Yeah, he's gone for 3/4 a tank, and he's also gone for the Racing Super Soft. So let's bring up the race info again. So Hulky is still there, rounding out the top 12. So we'll drop back. Let's have a look, see what's happening in around about 7th place, because we haven't got anyone particularly close to each other at the moment, which is quite unusual in these short races, because it's usually all quite tight. And we're not seeing much in the way of penalties either. So let's hop back up, I think, as Noodlester comes back onto the Conrod straight. We'll hop on board and see what his info is. He's down to 1/4 of a tank, so I think that's going to be quite tight. So we'll sit on board with him as he comes up to complete the lap, because I think you may see he's going to peel off into the pits, because I don't think he's got enough fuel to get to the end. So that's going to slot him back in a little bit further back. Yep, Noodlester, just as I predicted, he's having to go to the pit, and these pit stops are so costly for these guys. So we'll leave Noodlester in the pit, and we'll just hop up with these the front guys. Now it looks like Kevin is making a little bit of a break, and they've stretched the gap between them. It's almost formation flying with the Greek squad here, and they've got a nice steady gap between them, each of them around about 1.5 seconds, and it doesn't look like anyone can make inroads into either. So I don't see anything dramatic happening there at the moment. We'll dive back to see where Noddy's mate comes out, because he was just about to come out of the pits. So he's there. No, he's still in the pits. Refueling. We're only 3 minutes to go, and of course that's going to drop him down. Well, he's coming out right behind Mark Parker. Now Mark pitted quite early on, so I imagine if we hop on board with Mark, we're going to see that his tyres are actually quite worn. Oh no, he's got the Racing Soft. So let's hop back one position and see what is happening with Noddy's mate. Now he's got Racing Super Soft, so we should see a little bit of action here, because Noddy's mate now has got the softest, grippiest tyres on. He's only got to make them last 3 minutes, so I think he should get all over the back of Mark Parker very quickly as they work their way up the mountain. They're going to come up round the left-handers here at Solomons Park and over the crest of the hill, which is known as Skyline, as you can imagine, because it's the top of the hill. Round another fast left-hander. Oh, Mark's getting a little bit loose there. Oh, dear me, dear me. So there we are, on board with Noddy's mate. Get some nice info there on the screen. We can bring that up for you again. So let's see, lap times around here much extended when you have that pit stop. So as we go now, as Noddy's mate got the ability here to get onto the back of Mark Parker with the slipstream down the main straight. So Mark's going defensive for the first part of the chase. Here we go, the slipstream effect's taking effect. He's right under the rear wing of that other Mustang. Oh, going a little bit wide there. On the brakes, down the second gear, around the left-hander. Mark using the curb on both parts of it, kicking up some dirt in the face of Noddy's mate. Here we go down to the last corner. Onto the brakes, down to second gear. And this looks like it's probably going to be the last lap. We've got 1:38 left. The leaders are making their way over the top of the mountain. So here we go. As soon as the clock has run out, when the drivers finish across the line, or whatever position they're in, that's the end of their race. So I can't see these guys are going to get back before the time runs out. So here we go, up to Griffin's Bend. Oh, late on the brakes there from Noddy's mate. He's getting really close there. Let's just jump to an external shot to see how this is working out for these two guys as we work our way up round to the cutting. So leaders are coming up there. Oh, let's just look where these two guys are battling. I think we're going to go bump cam, and then we're going to need to move forward one car. There we go. Look at these cracking shots. We've got onboards as we come down over the mountain. Fantastic across the curves. Oh, Noddy's mate looking really loose there on both ways. He made an error there earlier. So as we work our way down to Forest Elbow, this is where he needs to get right under the rear wing of that car in front. Oh, and it looks like Mark scraped the wall there a little bit. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? Mark's going defensive. The next corner's a right-hander, so he needs to be on that side of the track. So time is out. So when these guys cross the line, that'll be it. So here we go, breaking in. I don't think he's going to do anything about this. I think this could be it. Mark Parker's hung on up to the last corner, down to second, round we go. No, Mark Parker's got that position, so that's 9th and 10th settled. Oh, it's tight. It's tight against the wall. Oh, photo finish there. Let's hop back on with the leaders. So don't worry about the bottom right corner. I know you can see it says time remaining, but that's just time remaining for everyone to finish their lap. So everyone from 7th down will have now completed their race. So we'll jump on board with Kevin. Fastest lap in qualifying. Jumps into the lead. He's now, oh, we've actually missed the move up front there. So unfortunately we missed that Kalunan was overtaken by Zabarino, and they dropped back a bit, so I'd imagine there may well have been a little bit of contact there. So unfortunately, viewers, we missed that one. So that's the top three, still the same top three, but in a slightly different order. So Kevin's coming up around the last corner, safe pair of hands, as we know with Kevin, keeping his 100% record fully intact there as he crosses the line. 9.5 seconds back to Zabarino. So let's have a look, see where, and Kalunan. So they were quite close together. So I imagine they may well have had a little bit of a coming together. Sturplan, who's had his second place parties ruined by the arrival of Zabarino and Kalunan, he comes through in 4th. 5th is Timorous, getting a bit wild as he crosses the finishing line there. Select 2099, he's currently 2nd in the championship, so that'll be interesting to see how that works that one out. Oh, it looks like he might have run out of fuel as he's crossing the line. Let's have a look there. Yes, he has. That was really tight. So there you go, there's the result. We'll bring it up on screen for you in a second after Kevin has celebrated his 7th win out of 7. As I already mentioned, our second race will be a reverse grid, and it will be a longer race, so there will be pit stops involved, maybe 1, maybe 2, and those fast guys have got to work their way through, and as we've already seen, there isn't a great opportunity for overtaking on this one. So we'll just bring up the race results, and then what we're going to quickly do for you is put together where the championship is at the moment. So we can give you a live update. This is obviously provisional. If there's any protests or questions to be raised with the stewards after the race, that could obviously change the results. So anything I give you now will be provisional. But as you can see there, it's very much in nationality order. So we are, you know, with the Greeks have very much got the lockout at the front there. As you see, the cars are all the same. Just remind you, this is a homage to the V8 series in Australia, the supercars, and the liveries have been done to reflect the car liveries that are out there in that championship. So let's have a quick look. See, we've got the latest update result for the championship, so let me just bring that up on my little screen for you when I can, because technology has just failed me there. There we go. Okay, so no surprises at all. Kevin is in first place still, where he was before, on 175 points. Select is second still. He got 14 points for this race, so that takes him up to 135. Now the great thing about this championship is the point gap between each position is only about 2 points, apart from second and third. So that means as the championship goes on, no one can get a great lead. You know, like Formula 1 where there's 7 or 8 points between first and second, you're not going to get that great gap if someone like Kevin is winning every race. So even going into the last round, it should be conceivable that Kevin can be cool. Third place is Sturplan, who has been given a close watching brief on Kevin through the season. He's got 110 points. R80, he's still in fifth with 98 points. Noodlester's sixth. He's got 92 points, so only just a little bit behind R80 there. Noddy's mate, he's got 78. Now Swede Roger, he's in seventh, but he's not with us tonight, so he's got 73 points, so he's in danger obviously of getting overtaken by a few others tonight. Cajun Kevin, he's in eighth with 64 points, and Timorous, he's in ninth place with 54 points. Now he didn't join us early on in the series, so he's playing a bit of catch up. Mark Parker there, he's got 46 points. And that rounds out the top 10. So let's have a look forward to what we've got coming up now. We've got a 30-minute race with a reverse grid, and it should be, subject to what's being set up there, it should be a grid start. It has had a couple of problems trying to do that. Let's have a look in the chat, see if we've got anything that's happening. Hulky saying that he hates this track. Now if I'm right, I believe Hulky said that last week as well, and the week before and the week before that. We're going to go for the next race at 8:35, so that's in 6 minutes. We've had a couple of drivers just hop out of the room. I imagine that's possibly for essential relief, shall we say. So that's Mark Parker and Hulky, so hopefully those guys will be back to join us soon. Just have a quick look, see who we've got out on track. Let's just hop in and have a quick look. We've got somebody doing a lap. Now we're going into the dark with this second race by the look of it, so this could certainly liven things up. So we can see the, let's have a look at the onboard view with Cajun there. As you can see, it's not the greatest view, and when you're trying to pick out these apexes on those red and white curves, this is not Singapore, it's not Bahrain where you've got all the lights and it might as well be daylight and it's just in name a night race. This is proper night racing, so you're a bit like Le Mans, you're trying to look for those marker points to get your turning points and pick those curves out. You know, with these lightweight F1 drivers that have to have everything lit up. As you can see, we're plunging out into the dark here as we head up the mountain towards Griffin's Bend, over the crest there. So we'll be looking on the left for a mark around about 150 metres onto the brakes. Oh, a little bit deep there. As I said, it's that difficult to pick out those turning points. So just lift on the throttle here for the first part, hard on the brakes. Now this, I think, is the steepest part of the circuit. It's about a 1 in 6 gradient as we come up here. And interestingly, as you look to the side of the track, you can see some areas which are lit up with properties, which I mentioned to you earlier. This is actually just a residential road that happens to be a racetrack a few times a year. So as Cajun's trying to pick out, they're trying to pick out the braking and turning points. Now this is one of the tricky points. Here we go, over the top. Try and clip that curve on the left and on the right while losing speed. You get down to first or second gear here. That's the slowest point in the circuit, and then we're off again. And this bit's flat out, but it's trying to pick with no real markers this left-hand turn's braking point. So it's gone a little bit deep there, but at the forest elbow there, it's so important to try and get the accelerator down as early as you can, because it's all about the speed down this straight. So we just quickly bring up, as you see, 157, 158, 160 miles an hour. You lose 2 or 3 miles an hour because you've got a slow exit. We're over 170 now, flat out, and about 150 metres on the brakes, turning at 50s, second or third gear around here. Gas it back up again. Oh, bit loose there, Kevin. You nearly had a quick conversation with the wall there, didn't we? So back down to second, and across the start-finish line to complete the lap. So let's have a quick look back, see when we've got things starting. So there's no just go back to the viewing area and see. Well, Holky has left us, but he hasn't rejoined us. But we've still got 11 drivers, so hopefully we are going to get Holky back. So let's just go back. We'll view Cajun going round just to get the external view, which is exactly what I was looking for there. As you, that's put a big straight down the side of his lovely DeWalt livery. So let's see if we've got anybody else. We've got everybody else actually out. Let's have a look around, see if anybody's doing anything a bit different. Zabarino's still in the pits. He's obviously got confidence. Who else have we got out there we can have a quick look at? We've got Kaloonan. Back up. Just coming up on Noodle Stories that we work our way up the hill. As you can see, this is the view drivers are going to have as they are racing here through the night. You see the properties over there on the left. So, a lot of tire school there. Noodles is going quite deep on that corner there. He's going to let Kaloonan go. No, Noodlester. Oh dear, that's a write-off. You're not going to get your deposit back on your rental for that one. So, and if anybody wants to know what I was referring to there, look up Mustangs and rental. And there's great stories in the 60s where Hertz had a great fleet of Mustangs which were being rented out for weekends, taken to racing circuits, having stickers put on the side, used for the weekend, and then returned on the Monday morning. Quite how true that all was, I don't know, but there's a lot of Google folklore out there about it. So let's just have a hop off there, have an external shot. As you can see, as they're working their way down the hill, there's just no room for error. Solid concrete walls at each side, so just one slight mistake. It's not a case of running wide and bouncing over the curbs and getting told off for track limits. This is proper hardcore stuff, so one mistake, that wall will come out, bite you and rip the side off your car. And here we go, 5 seconds to go and we're going to be off. Reverse grid, fast guys at the back. This is going to be great, so hold on to your seats. We're going to have a fantastic race here. 30 minutes up and down Mount Panorama. Hold on to your hats, we're going to have fun. So here we go, pole position is Mark Parker, Cajun is second, Noddy's mate third, R80 John Riley fourth, Noodlester's fifth, Select sixth, Timorous seventh, and Sturpan is in eighth. So I think we will just pop back. We've actually got a wrong start, not as I was expecting, a grid start, but it's a safer start. Everyone gets away at a similar pace. And we've got the added advantage this night. Here we go, and we're away. Everyone's flat to the floor as we approach the first corner, L corner. get this one right, gets your speed all the way up to Griffin's. So we can expect to see, oh, Noodles has got it all a bit loose already coming out of that corner, but it looks like he's caught it. Yes, he has. So I know in this series we've had some challenges in other series with reverse grids. Let's hang on with Noddy's mate there, because I think we're getting quite exciting there. Look at this, here we go, up into Griffin's. Mark Parker's gone a little bit deep, he's brazing the wall. Oh, that was nearly... Mark Parker got it all sideways, lost a bit of speed, and Cajun was up the inside. A bit early on the break there, Mark Parker. Noddy's mate is right behind him. Oh, no, and Mark Parker's into the wall. He promised me action, he's given it. So, Noddy's mate's through to second. Mark Parker's dropped down to fourth there, and R80's in third. So let's have a look back, see how close behind he is. Wow, look at these shots as we go over the top of the mountain. It's all looking really tight there behind. Looking back, none of the race leaders from the first race are anything above 8th yet, so this looks like it's going to be cracking. Here we are, working our way down the mountain. Tyres squealing as they protest. R80's looking, oh, and it looks like, I think that was Mark had got a penalty there in the background, so I didn't quite see what happened there, unfortunately. No, can't quite catch up, so we'll carry on. So, Kevin's already worked his way up to 7th, and he's behind Kalunan, who he also was battling with in the first race. So let's just hop back and see where they are. Oh, and Cajun's right on the back of Noddy's mate there, going for the lead, and he's gone wide. Noddy's mate, he's across the gravel. Oh, he's come back on the track, and it looks like he collected somebody there. I couldn't quite see who it was. We can do a quick replay. We'll hop back and look at that at the moment. Noddy's mate's got going again, and he's in third place, and Noodlester's in second. So Kalunan is already up to 4th, and Kevin is in 6th. So those guys have made some quite cracking moves over the first lap. Let's hope it was all clean. But look at this little convoy here. This is going to be fantastic as we head up round Howell's corner, back up to Griffin's. Noddy's mate, followed by Kalunan, Timorous, Kevin 77, Sturplan and Zabarino, all in close attention. Oh, that looks so tight round there. Kalunan's got it round the inside, is he? Let's hop on board with him. Looking back, this is all looking quite exciting and quite tight. We'll hop with 7th and reverse the camera. Here we go. Right on board the front bumper of Sturplan as we work our way up the hill. Just 0.4 of a second behind. 7 seconds behind the leaders. This is all going to be really tight as we work out. Kicking the dust out as they push. Oh, Sturplan, that was right rubbing the wall there. So as we go over the crest here, the cars go light. Oh, hello, someone was taking a bit of a shortcut route there. I don't know if that'll come back and bite them with a track limits penalty. Sturplan's looking extremely loose there. Let's hop forward to Kevin. He's right behind Timorous there. Now whoever took that shortcut doesn't seem to have picked up a penny. Noddy's mate hits the wall and Timorous gets caught up behind him. They've all lost momentum as they come down the hill. So let's hop back with Sturplan now. If he got a clean exit, yes, and it looks like he did, he's going to have a great overspeed on the cars in front. Timorous stays right, but he can't hold off Sturplan. He's right by. He's catching Kevin hand over fist here as they go into the right at the chase. But he hasn't got enough track to catch and pass him. So, oh, he's just gone out a little bit too deep, and Savarino's right all over his back bumper there. Let's have a look back. Is he going to make a move? Timorous is right behind him as well. This is all looking really tight, but at the moment looking pretty clean. So as we approach complete the second lap, we are having a quick look forward. Let's see how Noodlester and Cajun are getting on up the front. Cajun seems to have got a bit of a gap there, so this could be quite a result here for Kevin. I'm not sure what his best result is so far, but we'll have a look back for that one, because he's pulled away about 4 seconds on Noodlester, who's running in second place, who is quickly, I think, going to get the attention of the Fast and the Frugal Greek edition, who are all coming up behind him in a pack. So, oh, Noodlester, you don't want to do that. That's going to be losing you some speed. So it's working his way up, and it looks like Kalunan is getting very close to him already. So let's hop on the back of this, or towards the middle of this pack, because I think we're going to get some great shots here as we work our way over the top of the hill. Maybe not that one. We'll move back. Here we go. We're on with Sturplan, being chased by Zabarino and Timoros, kicking the dirt up, running it right up against the wall. Let's work up through these fast left-handers as they come up towards Skyline, and then whoa, over the top we go, down the other side. Losing speed, down to probably first gear as we go around this really tight drop-away left-hander. Now picking up speed again, down towards Forest Elbow. Here we go, hard on the brakes. Getting on that throttle as early as they can. Here we go. Let's hop back to Zabarino and look forward to see, is he going to make a move this time? He's right under the rear wing. He's pulling out again. He's got good speed in that car down the straight. Here we go. He's passed. I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has. He's cleaning his way. So we see Sturplan disappear in his rear view mirror. Let's have a quick look up a little bit further on and see what's happening towards the front. Oh, Noddy's mate's made a mistake there. I think he's spun out. We'll go back and have a look at that in a second. So let's have a look here. Let's have a quick review where we are. So Cajun 100 is still up in the lead. Let's have a look, see what sort of gap he's got. Well, that's down to 2 seconds. So we're 6.5 minutes into the race, and it looks like Kalunan, he's on his way to take that lead that Cajun's held for the 4 laps. And let's have a quick look. Oh dear, Noddy's mate has left the room. We did see an incident there with him. We'll go back and have a quick look at that one. Let's have a look now. We'll just go back for the replay there. Noddy's mate was running in 5th. Just having a little bit of trouble getting. Oh. No, that's not really worked for us, has it, I'm afraid, because I've just discovered a bit of a limitation with this replay setup, so unfortunately we missed it. But unfortunately Noddy's mate, obviously something happened there in the background and he spun out. So we're going to go back to the racing action now, I hope, unless it's got caught completely in replay now, which appears to have done. Let's have a quick look. Just bear with us a second, viewers. We've just got a minor issue here. We'll come out and we'll go back in. There are ways and means to get around this. So we're back with the race live, lap 4. Let's have a quick hop back up to second place. Here we go. We thought this was going to get exciting, and it is. This is Kalunan. He's got his way through. Kevin's now up to 3rd, and again Kalunan's got great speed in that car. He just drives straight past Cajun 100 to take the lead from him that he's hung on to for so many laps. So I'm sure Cajun will be a little bit disappointed by that, but he certainly took advantage of his front position in that reverse grid race. So he's done a cracking job there. Looks like there's something happened a little bit further with a bit of a change of move in the background there. Don't think we could quite see exactly what was happening there, but we'll just hop back and have another look. That was it. Zabaroni's got past Noodlester. So, oh, and Cajun's decided this is the point to go for the pits. So, we've still got 21 minutes to remaining, so I imagine Cajun's going for a 2-stop strategy on this one, but he doesn't think he can make it work as a single stopper, because the first race he was forced to pit as well. So, it looks like he's gone for a 2-stop on the Super Soft. So, let's see where the next movers and shakers are. I think it's probably going to be Noodles is hanging on well to Zabarino there. He's only about half a second behind. So let's have a look, see how Kevin's getting on at the front. Now he's about 1.5 seconds behind Kalunan. Now is Kalunan to be the driver that's going to break that 100% perfect record by Kevin so far? We've had 7 rounds so far and he's had 7 wins. Can he hang on to it? We're about to find out. So let's have a quick look further down. Have we got anybody working over each other that's further down? Let's just move our way down the positions to see where we're at. So Zabarino's about 2 seconds ahead, or sorry, 1.5 seconds behind Kevin, and about 2.5 seconds ahead of Noodlester. So Cajun has come back out of the pits and he's in a... Oh, hello, there we go. Sturplan caught Noodlester there into Forest Elbow. I don't think we saw that one coming. Let's go back and have a look. Great move there as they were working their way down the mountain. Here he goes. Launches it down the inside. Lovely clean move there. Noodlester had nothing to come back at with that one. So that's through. So we've got 4 out of 5 Greeks back to the front. So the next one that's going to come under the attention from the Greeks is Noodlester in 5th. So let's have a look where we're at. So Timoros is about 3.5 seconds behind. So it's going to take him a little while to catch up. But Noodlester doesn't look like he's given up that fight with Sturplan at the moment. So that was quite a move by Sturplan, but Noodlester isn't letting that one go. So, round Howell's corner. Oh no! He's got it sideways. He got it caught. No, he's in the wall. He's in the wall. He goes out because he's out of position where he was expected to be, and unfortunately, that's handed it to Timoros. He was obviously Noodlester was driving out of his skin there, but unfortunately, that was ambition over adhesion. So that was the end of that. So let's just have a look and see where we would expect a few more to be pit stopping at the moment. So we'll just have a quick look, see what's happening on that side of it. So we can't see anything happening with the pit stops, but we can see something happening up the front here. Here we go. Kevin doesn't want to give up that 100% win record, does he? Oh, look at that. He's all over the back of Kalunin as we go over the top. Here we go. Back on the brakes. Back on the accelerator. Oh! Kicking the dust up. Kalunin doesn't want to give this up. New driver of the series. He wants to win and he's going to hang on to it. But these guys are going to be pitting either at the end of this lap or I'd imagine at the end of the next lap to get the maximum out of their tyres. So, here we are, down the Conrod straight. Kalunin's going defensive. It looks like he's got the draft. He's got by, I think he has. Look at that, he's just driven straight by. And using so little fuel as well. That's quite incredible. So, Kevin is back in his regular position of in the lead. So, he has got 6 laps in coming up in the bag now with 17 minutes remaining. I would imagine they're probably going to pit if they're doing a split race of of a single stop. They're going to stop, I would imagine, at the end of the next lap to get the maximum out of each set of tyres. Now the other one that seems to be on the move is Zabarino, who I think is catching Kalunin. So he's about 2 seconds behind at the moment. So sorry, 1.5 seconds behind. So we'll keep an eye on that gap at the moment. We can move down to Sturplan, see where he's at. He's a little bit in no man's land, Sturplan. 5 seconds behind Zabarino. Noodlester's gone for the pits. Decided he's had the best out of those tyres. So I would hope for him that's his single stopper. So he only had 7% fuel left. So he's probably going to need to wind his performance back in the second part of the race to make sure he gets to the end of it without having to pit again, because I can see that being quite expensive for him. Select's running there in 6th. He's again a little bit in no man's land, although these guys are all spreading out. And there's one problem I quite often find when the races I've commentated here, that Bathurst does quite often seem to spread the guys out. So they seem to end up having their own separate races, but hopefully once we've got a few pit stops out of the way, that'll bring guys a little bit closer to each other. So we'll move down to 7th occasion. Now he's already pitted and he's about 7.5 seconds behind Select, but he's got 20 seconds on Noodlester, so that early pit stop seems to have worked out quite well there for Cajun. 8th is Noodlester, who we know is recently pitted, who was running up there at the front for quite some time. In 9th we got R80, which is John Riley, and now to do the quick plug, John Riley organises on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock a Group 4 race, GT4 race, and that's about halfway through its championship, but it does have 1 or 2 slots available. So if you want to get involved, Flat Out E-Racing, do the Facebook search, look for them on Discord. There's a link below the video that you're watching now on YouTube, and you can click that link and then you can find out more about what's going on with Flat Out E-Racing. I think there may be 1 or 2 slots with the V8, but I know there's definitely 1 or 2 with the GT4. So, and that's a great series, 2 races on a Wednesday night, fast, friendly, competitive racing. So we'll drop down to Mark Parker, who is around 10 seconds behind R80 there. About a minute and a half behind the leaders, but Mark has pitted, I believe, so that gap will come down once the leaders have pitted. So let's just have a quick look around the circuit top right, see who's got maybe a little bit of action going on, and it just looks like the leaders to me at the moment. So let's just have a look on board and see what the field is like for the leaders now. They got just under 15 minutes remaining. They didn't pit when I expected to, which was smack on halfway. But I think they're going to run as long as they can on this tank of fuel, because what they want to do is make sure the fuel element of their stop is as short as possible. So they're on the racing softs. They've still got a fair amount of tread on them. So I would think they are going to be fairly safe on tyre wear. It's just going to be the fuel they're going to need to stop for. So they've got about eighth of a tank left. So let's just hop on board with the second place driver, Clinton, and we'll just do a bit of a chase cam with him as we're working our way down to the chase. I think this is a fantastic shot. It gives you that real onboard feeling, especially with the headlights. So, are we going to see Kevin peel away? Yes. Clunen's peeled away as well. Let's have a look. Is Sabarina going to do the same thing? No, let's just have a look at his field, which I can't quite see at the moment. I'm not sure quite why, but we'll worry about that in a minute. But Sabarino, so he's got an extra lap of field. Now that's going to make him a little bit quicker in his pit stop that he's going to have to take at the end of this lap coming up. So that's going to be quite interesting, because that means he'll have a shorter pit stop. Yeah, I can see his field now. His field light's flashing away there on the left hand side in the middle of his speedo. So let's hope he's not overly cooked it and that he's going to end up running out of fuel. So we'll cross our fingers on that one for him. So the other drivers are Sturpan pitted as well. Cajun's gone in for his second stop. He was down to 13 litres, so he's very much got committed to that two-stop strategy. Be interested to see how this works out for Sabarino, because as long as he can make that field last at the end of this lap, and he must be awfully tight. Let's just have a quick look. I'm sure he's got it all neatly calculated out, but this is going to be tight. So what we'll do is we'll sit with him as he works his way down the hill to make sure he gets back to the pit. He doesn't have that horrible moment. If you see that car ghost down as it's heading back towards the pits, it means that he's run out of fuel. So he's pushing his luck with that one considerably. Let's have another quick look. It is down, the fuel light's flashing, but there's a little bit of red bar by the E there. Has he pushed his luck? We're about to find out. He's howling down the main straight there, known as Conrad, as he goes over the crest towards the chase. I think he is possibly pushing his luck, Sabarino, here, but we'll be interested to see, because then what we'll do is we will hop on board with Kevin and see whether he's going to Sabarino's going to be able to make that pit stop. He's got to pit this lap, surely. Yes, and he's in the pits. So let's go to Kevin. So he's just coming down into the chase. So I think this is going to be really close, because Sabarino has done that extra lap, maybe on slightly worn tyres, but he means he doesn't have to fuel for quite so long. So is that enough for him to make the difference to jump back out? Here we go. Kevin's coming around. Sabarino's still in the pits. No, it hasn't worked for Sabarino by the look of it. As we come around the corner, are we going to see Sabarino appear on the left-hand side? On Kevin's left-hand side? No, we're not. No, that hasn't worked out for him. He's howling up towards Griffin's. That's Sabarino has actually worked backwards for him. He's really not worked, because Sturpan has jumped him in the pit stops as well. So on those fresher tyres, he's got out in front of him. So that really... Oh no, that was just the system updating itself. Sabarino did hang on to third, which I was quite surprised if he'd managed to drop to fourth, because there's quite a gap there. Let's just hop back and see what other action we've got happening And it looks like everyone's fairly well spread out. We've just dropped under 10 minutes to go, so we've got a third of the race left. So we'll just hop back to see what the guys are doing a bit further back. I think most of these guys further back are going to be on two-stop strategies. I think... Okay, so let's have a look at Noodlester. He was quite well at the front. I think with half a tank left, he has got to probably pit, but he may only be a splash and dash, so we'll see how that one works. We'll drop back to Cajun. So he's just coming around Griffin's there, working his way up the hill. He looks fairly stable. Let's see where he's... So he's got over 2/3 of a tank, so that's easily going to get him to the end. So he's well covered. So I think Noodlester might have to pit, so that could bring things into a different situation. Let's hop on board with R80 down there in 9th, sorry. So what's his situation on board? Yes, he's definitely going to have to pit, less than a quarter of a tank, so he's going to need to pit within the next couple of laps for a splash and dash to get him to the end. So the winner in these guys here, I can see being Cajun, because sorry, I'm getting your wires crossed there. I don't think it's Cajun. It might be Noodlester if he can work his... Sorry, it is Cajun. Cajun's got 3/4 of a tank. There's too many drivers on this track. So Cajun's got 3/4 of a tank. I think Noodlester and R80 around him are going to have to pit. So let's just have a hop down to Mark Parker in 10th. See what's happening with him. So I think he has had his second pit stop. So he could Mark could certainly come back into the play there. Oh, not if he gets all loose like that up the hill, he won't. Mark could certainly come back into the play of what is that sort of 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th battle, because depending on the gap, he's 50 seconds behind R80, so I'm not sure that's going to... I think that might be too big a gap, so I think the pit stop loss is about 22 seconds, so I might have been over-egging the pudding a little bit there, so sorry guys, I was trying to big it up, but now unfortunately on that occasion, Mark's obviously lost time somewhere, maybe with an extra stop, or with a problem on track. So let's head back up the front, see how these guys are getting on. Kevin is putting a bit of a gap and a bit of dirt on Kalunan in second place. So there's about a second gap there, which looks fairly steady at the moment. Kalunan's got 11 seconds on Zabarino, so considering how close all these guys were in the first race, I don't see that they're actually going to... Zabarino's going to be able to close that gap up. So he's 6 seconds clear of Sturplan, so I don't think that one's going to close up either. So this all looks fairly stable up at the front. We've got just under 7 minutes to go. Tim Ross is coming along there in 5th. He's got about 11 seconds on Select. Now I think if we look briefly at the championship, I think this is going to play against Select. The introduction of these extra drivers who are finishing in front of Select, I think that's really going to have do some damage to his position, because Sturplan is where are we? 25 points behind Select, so that is a bridgeable gap, and Sturplan is he's about 4 points in front of him. So it'll be interesting how that one shakes out, because Select could do with being a little bit up further towards the front, but unfortunately with those new drivers in between him and Sturplan, it's meaning that he's not getting the points that he hoped he would possibly get from this race. So we'll drop down to 6, which is Select, who we've just had obviously a bit of a chat about with his lovely Penrite livery there. Noodlester's coming in for a pit stop, which I did predict a few laps ago, so we'll hop on board with Cajun, who I think is going to pick up that position, because I think Noodlester's going to be stuck in the pits too long to prevent Noodlester overtaking him. And as he crossed the start line, I think, there we go, Cajun picks up 7th position. So I don't see R80 is going to be able to pick that position up, and R80's also got to have the pit, because he's just coming through the chase at the moment. And Noodlester's out of the pit, so R80, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to improve that position unless something dramatic happens in front. So everyone's settling out in front a little bit. Let's just have a look. That looks like the first and second place are getting a little bit closer. Kalunan in second and Kevin 77 in first. So we'll just ride on board with Kalunan as he's setting off, still in pursuit of Kevin, who overtook him a few laps back. Obviously Kevin was very keen to protect his 100% record. So just to remind you where we're at in this championship. This is round 7 and 8 at Bathurst. We've got one more round which will be held next week, same time at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. Subscribe below to the Flat Out E-Racing channel. Make sure you get the notifications there when we're broadcasting. Next week we'll be at Barcelona, and if you're watching the Formula 1 today, we're on the very same circuit. So quite a challenging circuit, various different bends, bit of a Mickey Mouse setup at the end. Oh, Kevin clips the wall there. Going back to Barcelona, there's a bit of a Mickey Mouse setup, I feel, of the chicane as they come onto the main straight. So you sort of hopping across the curbs. I think they really could improve that, but just a personal opinion. Other opinions are available, of course, as we finalise the championship there. So I think we'll have to do the calculations at the end. I don't think Kevin can completely win the championship at this round. Obviously, any results I give you at the end are provisional, so subject to any protests, etc. So we're just working our way back down the hill there on board with Kalunan, still trying to hunt down Kevin, who just seems to have that 0.1 of a second a lap advantage, and he's just easing his way. And the other thing with Kevin I've noticed, he just doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes, and he's frugal, so he doesn't have to take those extra pit stops. And as we noticed earlier, there's about a 22-second loss on this track with the pit stops, and it means that, you know, if you can save the fuel, maybe run, you know, a little bit less performance in your car, save that pit stop. 22 seconds to try and gain that on track is a massive hard work effort. But Kevin particularly seems to be able to do that without any trouble at all, and he's still one of the quickest guys around the track. So we need to find out what his secret is. We'll have to have his car stripped down, make sure he's not running a hybrid of some form. So let's have a quick look back, see if we can see any guys that are close, and absolutely not really. If we look at the top right hand corner there as we are winding down to 2 minutes to go, so I would say we've got 2 laps left. The guys, apart from Kalunan and Kevin, who we're on board with at the moment, these guys are really neatly spread out around the track. Let's have a quick look. I think we may have Sturpan being caught by Timoros. We'll have a look at this as we head up from Howes Corner towards Griffins, but they are fairly close, but I don't think they're close enough that they're going to actually have any challenge for the position. But we'll ride on board, see how they develop this. But just looking at that gap, I was thinking back, I don't think it was a massively different gap earlier. So, but the other thing, interestingly to me, it doesn't look like the 12 or 16 seconds that it's telling me, but it's GT Sport, it must be right. So let's have a quick look, see what else we've got going on here. So we'll just have a quick look at what we can see going on. We've got no action as I can see around the track at all. We've got 52 seconds remaining. We'll hop on board with the leader, who is suddenly being caught by Kalunan. It's almost as though they've received my email regarding having a little bit of action. So let's hop on board. We'll go bumper cam. Coming up to start the final lap. So, has Kalunan been keeping his powder dry? It's less than half a second now. We're starting the last lap. So we'll have a quick look at, just check to see whether there's a fuel issue with any of these guys. Oh, Kalunan was a little bit light there, so he's we're running about an 1/8 of a tank there with Kalunan. We'll hop on board with Kevin. So Kevin's a little bit tighter. He's red lights on already and he's flashing. So this could be the problem. Is Kevin managing a fuel issue here? We thought it was all over, it wasn't. Here we go, up the mountain for one last time. This is going to be close. Time is out, so all the drivers as they cross the finishing line now will be completing their race. So it's really just going to be these guys here, which is going to be the action for now. It looks like Kevin may feel he's got a little bit more fuel left. He's just pulled away a little bit there as we work our way over the top. Oh, he's clumped the wall there. That's going to lose him some momentum. We're coming up the skyline. We're over the crest. Down one gear, down another gear, and down into first gear. Round the tide like left-hander, it drops off. Down the hill we go. It's like a roller coaster. So, into Forest Elbow. It looks like Kevin's been able to pull enough of a gap. It's up to 0.8 of a second. Oh, he's clumped the wall on the exit there, Clunan. I think that may be the end of his attack. It looks like Kevin's got this right. Let's hop on board with Kevin and see what he's got going on with the fuel. I think he's got enough to get there now. I think he's just was managing the fuel situation there. Let's have a look back. I don't see Clunan's going to catch him with just the chase and the final corner to go. He's getting a little bit closer, half a second. I don't see this happening. It would have been great to see it. Oh, is he going to come for one final launch? 0.2 of a second. He's right under the rear wing. No, Clunan can't make it happen. Kevin's got it as they approach the line. He's got enough fuel. Across the line, flashing lights on the pair. Fantastic finish there. We thought it was all over, but it wasn't. So we're just waiting for Zamborino to come across the finishing line, which has happened now, and that is the race complete, and there's the result. Kevin continues his 100% record. So don't run away, we're just going to do some quick numbers and give you some provisional updates on where the championship is, and we'll see whether Kevin has done enough to secure it. He needs to be 50 points in front to secure it. So we'll just have a quick look. We'll get the abacus out and just get everything. We'll just get the full result up so you can see exactly where everybody was on that one. So unfortunately for that second race, we lost Holkey and we also lost Noddy's mate. Holkey didn't start. Noddy's mate was lost around about third of the way through the race. And it looks like, remarkably, I think we've almost ended up with the same result that we had in the first race. I may be wrong, and I'm sure I'll be wait to be corrected. But it's a very similar result to what we had in the first race here at Bathurst. Just to remind you, these are rounds 7 and 8. This is a 10-round championship. The next 2 rounds are next Sunday, 9 o'clock, on the Flat Out E-Racing YouTube channel. That will be from Barcelona in Spain. A circuit to Catalonia, great circuit. The F1 was there today and we're there next week, so don't miss that. That will be absolutely fantastic. So, and then the other thing coming up is on Wednesday night we've got the GT4 Championship, which will be on Wednesday at 8 PM, again on the Flat Out E-Racing Championship YouTube channel. So make sure you click the subscribe button below and you don't miss that. We will just give you the current positions in the championship, and Kevin is on 200 points in first place. Second place, Select 2099. Now, to win the championship of this round, and I must remind you these results are provisional, to win the championship this round, Kevin needed to be 50 points in front of Select. He's 51 points in front of Select, so congratulations to Kevin. Provisionally you are the champion. In second, I've already mentioned the Select. In third is Sturpan. He's on 128 points. Fourth is John Riley. Didn't have the greatest results tonight, but he's put in some solid performances through the championship. So on 106 points, he's there in fourth. But very close, just 4 points behind him is Noodlester with 102 points. So that's all open for grabs. Then we've got another great battle. From 6th, we just need to come in a little bit there, from 6th down to 9th, It's 78 points for Noddy's mate, sorry. Cajun 100 just 2 behind on 76. Then Swede Roger, who hasn't joined us tonight, he's 3 behind on 73. And then Timoros, he's on 70. So just 8 points between those 4 drivers. So that could be really tight. Then in 10th we've got Mark Parker on 52. Sabarino is on 43 in 11th. Clunan, and Sabarino of course joined us tonight. Cluno's 12, he's on 43. And that sort of rounds out the top guys in the championship there. So fantastic racing there tonight. We really enjoyed that. Home of the V8s. Bathurst has provided us with some great racing there. But it looks like it's been pretty clean on track. So I hope all the drivers enjoyed it, and I hope you viewers out there in YouTube land have enjoyed it as well. So don't forget, final round for this championship next Sunday at 9 PM. Join us on Wednesday night for GT4 racing, which will be from Lego Maggiore in Italy. We're going to have 2 rounds there on Wednesday night, but that's at 8 PM. So click subscribe and make sure you get those reminders. In the meantime, stay safe.